I guess, like, I'm gonna put this up on YouTube so everybody can, like, understand. So, I've done a hella lot of psychedelics in my life. Hella lot of psychedelics. Made psychedelics, too. Done a lot in my life. Done a lot of psychonauting. A lot. A lot of exploratory of the unknown, you know? And I have to say, it was some of the best times of my life, and some of the best times of my life, and some of the worst times of my life, and some of the worst times of my life. But it's a double-edged sword. So, in 1938, a Swiss scientist decided, well, this chemical, we don't even know what the fuck we're gonna do with it. I don't even know what the fuck it does. But I made it, so he puts it away. No, he doesn't test it on animals. No. He just puts it away. 5 years later, he pulls it off the shelf. He's like, hey, I wonder what this thing actually fucking does do, right? And while he was going to put it under the microscope to check it out, he spilled some on his hand. Now, not to worry. This isn't usually too big of a deal. However, this was a very unique chemical, lysergic acid diethylmide. Lysergic acid diethylmide will go straight through your skin, straight through. And he probably consumed a dose that was close to, I'd have to say, if you spilled it on your hand, probably a good 500 to 600, maybe 700 UGs. Maybe even a gram. He might have, not a gram, maybe a whole milligram he might have even got to. But, like, that's just the first time. He was riding his bike home, the scientist was riding his bicycle home when it kicked in. He was like, oh shit, what happened? What is this? He didn't touch it again for a very long time. Ironically, at the same exact time that that was happening, on the other side of the world, other scientists figure out that uranium, due to hue lighting through a window, holds nuclear power. Coincidence? No, I don't think so. Not a coincidence that we find mind expansion and what we use to blow people up at the same exact time. No, it's not a coincidence. Everybody, the bigwigs in the world, got together. And they got in a room. They were like, hey, what are we going to do? Are we going to transcend, or are we just going to, profit? Because this stuff makes you crazy, but holy shit, the things we're thinking on, like, bro, next level. But of course, people are aggressive. Humanity, history, likes to repeat itself. They chose war over transcendence. They chose to make the atom bomb. They chose to work on nuclear war. Lysergic acid diethylmide is just one of the very few, or many, psychedelics, however you want to call it. And it's been the most beneficial for me, by far. It's tryptamine and phenylethylamine based, but mostly tryptamine. Releases a lot of serotonin. Also will fling open all doors of perception. Causes hallucinations in some people, others not so much hallucinations, more just epiphanies. Some people, like me, have experienced states of samadhi. A state of samadhi is when we kind of leave our body and we go meet a deity. We go spend time with, quote, quote, God or a God or something like that. So, yeah. Magic mushrooms can do this too. Psilocybin also is a tryptamine, very closely related to serotonin. Actually, as a matter of fact, damn near all psychedelics are very closely related to serotonin in your brain. It's interesting. Not only that, LSD was found on a fucking asteroid. Yeah, that's weird, right? LSD was found on an asteroid that hit Earth. So was THC. Weird how that shit happens, right? All right. Anyway, besides all that, so, me and being a psychopath and being antisocial personality disorder cluster B. Really, doing psychedelics broke me. It really did. It broke me. It destroyed the narcissist in me. It broke me. And it told me, like, it beat my ego down. My ego was huge. And then it started beating it down. I was like, you're a piece of shit. You could have been better here. You could have done this better. You could have done this better. You could have been better to this person. You could have done better in this situation. It really is a reflection thing. And, like, just any psychedelic, not any psychedelic, but psychedelics that have tryptamines in them are definitely going to get you closer to your higher consciousness, aka or God. And for me, it's a lot like accepting your death when you're taking psychedelics, because when you ingest a psychedelic, you're literally stepping into the world of the unknown, which is what kind of like death is. You don't know what the hell is going to happen. You're not certain. You may have an idea, but that idea is so fucking wrong from what it actually is going to happen, from what's actually going to happen. So, yeah, the come up is usually very gentle for LSD, at least. Shrooms can be very virulent and aggressive. But LSD is very, very, very gentle on the come up, lysergic acid, diethylmine, and it's amazing, but it's super powerful. It's probably the most powerful one, next to dimethyltryptamine. Well, maybe close, but still very powerful. And what it does is allow me, as a mentally ill patient with bipolar, to learn how to Mr. Miyagi the emotion of that, ooh, it's coming, and I grab it, and I take it, and I turn that negativeness into positivity. Or if I heard voices, now I realize it's just my ego talking to me, or my intuition warning me. Like, it made me realize that the sicknesses, quote, quote, that Western society put on me were actually fucking gifts. And when you grow, and you're 23 to 25 years old, and you've been taught that you've been sick for this long, it takes a lot of shadow work and internal work of facing that shit that you don't want to look at, to deal with life, to become the better person, to become self-aware. That's why I am able to be the way I am. Not just because I've tripped so many times, but because I've put in the work. I've actually gone and stared my demons in the face and been like, bro, what's up? You ready? Let's go. And I fought them and I beat them. Most of them. New demons show up every single day, but trust me, every single person I believe on this planet is supposed to have a psychedelic experience at least once before death, so they can not only just accept death is going to happen, because it is like simulating death. You are stepping into the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen. But once you get over that threshold of that fear, it's all bliss and amazing. Well, it can be. So you can have a bad trip, but bad trips in retrospect are always good trips, because you usually have a bad trip because of something that you weren't ready to deal with, or you weren't supposed to trip at that time. Set and setting is a huge aspect to doing psychedelics. Set meaning like, okay, I have no plans for the next 2 days. I can recover. That's set. Like, and then like, and mindset also, like, I'm ready for this. I need this. I have intuition. I have a purpose for this. Yeah, that's set. Setting is where you are. Who you surround yourself with is very important. Turn your phone off. You don't want to deal with your parents, no authority figures, nothing. Turn your phone off. You're going to be doing some dumb fuck shit. Don't do that. Just turn it off and close your eyes. One of the messages that I always got from my angels was ignore the beauty and figure out the message. Psychedelics are beautiful. It shows us a beautiful world, but inside of us is actually the world. The universe is inside of us. So what it's trying to tell us is ignore the beautiful colors that I know that you're seeing right now, and close your eyes and go inside and do that shadow work. And when you go do that shadow work, you come back out a warrior. You're no longer, you go in scared and you come out a warrior, like, because you literally faced your fears. You faced a fear. And when you start facing fears, like doing psychedelics, and you drop it on your tongue, it's over. Like, when you do it, and that's it. Like, face your fear. Just go and do it and realize that you didn't die, and that's what life is about, experiencing things. And not only experiencing it, but experiencing it from a different perspective, from your own personal egotistical bias. That's what psychedelics do. So if I was to take LSD right now, I would no longer be thinking as Shane. I would be thinking as multiple versions of possible me, or other versions of me, or what I'd like to call God complex. Like, it completely changes who you are, and you will never be the same again when you do psychedelics. I urge everybody who is of age to go ahead and find yourself a true, psilocybin trip, or a true LSD 25 trip. Get in touch with yourself. Get in touch with spirituality. Get in touch with science. Spirituality and science are the same exact thing. Once you realize that, yin yang, spirituality, science, same thing. Black, white, all the same. It's all the fucking same. Everything is everything, and everything is nothing, and nothing is nothing, and nothing comes from nothing. I know I might sound like a madman rambling, but once you really tap into the upper consciousness, this will all make sense. And I hope that I have shed some light on things for you guys. Just know that mental illness can be conquered. We do recover. And you can go and crack open a lot of your own mental illnesses by going and trying a psychedelic. Autism, fucking bipolar, schizophrenics. A lot of people that they say don't do it, those are the people who are supposed to do it. Like, Western medicine teaches us the wrongest of things, and I don't agree with it. I have a very Eastern perspective, but I have a Western approach of, let's put as many chemicals inside of us as we can because we're fucking mutants.